Hey guys, welcome to Story Time, Part 14, when I was a correction officer back in the 90s. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so this is a story about when I was working down Lorton. This time I'm over maximum security, like the inmates was off the chain. And they didn't give a fuck because they had life, so they didn't care. So as far as respecting officers, you can write them up all day long. They knew they weren't getting out, so they didn't really care. So they stayed locked behind the cells. Anybody know about maximum security down Lorton? They stay locked behind the cells, but the way the cells are, they like behind here, and the officers just sit in front of them. And I'll never forget it. I was working over Max. I was working a day shift, and there was this creepy inmate. He was real creepy. And they said he did this to a lot of the female officers, but it freaked me the fuck out because I'm like, I was just like, what? First and foremost, I was scared as fuck because I knew that I had heard so many rumors of how the inmates back that was over Max, like they would take their bowel movement and urine and sit it and let it get soggy or whatever you want to call it, and they call it giving the officer a shit bath. And they would put it like in the shampoo bottle, and the officers that they can't stand and stuff like that. Yeah, we gonna get into that too, but yeah, they would shit bath your ass. And so I'm working there, and I had to do, so the officer, he didn't really like put me in harm's way, but he was just like, okay, well, you're gonna have to do a count. Even though I said, but, and here I go, scared as fuck. I'm like, but they behind bars. They can't go nowhere. He said, yeah, but you got to make sure they still breathing. They not trying to commit suicide. They not trying to hurt themselves and things like that. And so I said, okay, Lord and behold, you know your girl was terrified. I ain't going to lie. So I go to do the security check. And so one inmate had stopped me. And, you know, it was real nice, just asking just questions and just talking just talking. And I'm just standing there talking and everything like that, not realizing the dude right on the other side, he's, got his mirror, and, they stick it through the cell thing, and he got his mirror and he's releasing himself while watching me, like just standing there. And mind you, I didn't know. So it was really like a setup because the other inmate knew the kind of inmate that guy was, and he knew what he was doing and what they usually do to female officers. Mind you, no one warned me. They just told me, like, Max is the worst and be careful and things like that. But nobody said how the inmates just, do that type of stuff. And the inmate, I mean, he literally was, the way he was moaning, like, ooh, ooh, and ooh, ooh. And I was like, oh my God. And I tell y'all, no lie, released itself all on the bars everywhere. I freaked the fuck out. When I tell you, once again, you gotta act like you're not scared. You gotta act like that you built for this. I said, you know what? I'm getting ready to write your ass up, and yeah, you're gonna get more time put on your life sentence, like as if he really gives a fuck. So because you really can't do nothing with people that got life. What can you do? So I go back and I sit down, and when I tell you, I was so devastated. I told that officer, I was like, I said, he was like, this is what happens. He was like, and he was saying to us, so he was like, they really shouldn't even bring the female officers and let them work over here at all. But that's not the first time that guy done it. But he had said it. He had told me before. But I mean, when they give you an assignment and you working in law enforcement, you got to do what you got to do. Like, you got to do your job because that's what you're getting paid for. But the level of disrespect for some of those inmates was horrible. Horrible. But man, like, that was like, and then he just didn't give a fuck. They called the goon squad with downloading, the guys, and they came down there, and they got him and everything like that, but they just put him in a hole. He'll stay in the hole for a minute, and he'll come right back out, go right back in the mask. The DRs that you write on, disciplinary reports that you write on, is not going to do anything, because at the end of the day, he already has a life sentence, so he don't give a fuck. But these are some of the stories that officers go through in a day of working in the D.C. Department of Corrections. Stay tuned for part 15.